play a match like that?
Yes. I've got short answers today. I've been told my answers are too long, so yes, incredibly frustrating to play a game like that.
What did you guys try to do to break them down?
Not enough. I felt we got lulled into being comfortable with the tempo we played in the first half and didn't show enough urgency. As long as the score was 0-0, they were going to be content, and we were content just having the ball, and that's not enough against a team like this. And we had too many examples of games prior. They've obviously done this previously. They've done it against JMU, they did it against Marshall, and the scout was very much don't get lulled into playing in a comfortable tempo when the score is 0-0. So we didn't take advantage of the control we had in the first half. We didn't put them under enough stress in the first half. And then what I asked them to do at halftime, it took us 25 minutes to attempt it once. So we didn't execute in terms of what the delivery of the tactics were at halftime either. So a game like that, where a team creates a very, very different adversity to what you're familiar with, creates a different type of pressure. We have to have greater courage to not hopefully put the ball into an area, but serve it with a real intent that someone's going to score. Too much of our service was floated and hopeful. Then you also have to show composure to not force a service or a delivery when it's not set, it's not out your feet, it's not in a good position. And we failed in those areas to execute consistently enough in order to do enough to win the game.
How much more pressure does that put on corners? Because that would seem to be the one way you can get a quick strike or score something that's...
Yeah, but if it's lofted on a 6'6" goalkeeper, then it's no good for anyone, right? And I said to them at halftime, the one time we played short, we got a chance. We didn't play short again. But the quality of decision making under pressure, the pressure being that we hadn't scored, we showed some cracks, we showed some naiveties, and we didn't do enough to mix things up, to change things up, and to challenge them sufficiently in those set piece situations.
Nunez gets his first career start tonight. What did you think of his performance back there? He had some pretty big saves back there.
Yeah, they were going to live off brief moments, transition moments. They were going to be speculative in some of their efforts, and they tested him a couple of times. So he did his job. No complaints with anything he did. He came in, gets his first start, gets a clean sheet. He can go home happy. I'm sure he'll be disappointed that it wasn't followed with a win. But it's also nice to know that we now have two goalkeepers that have experience going into postseason, and that he has something that he can reflect on should he be called upon again.
You seem to be a little frustrated with some of the shots that were taken from distance in the second half. Was there a little bit more patience required at some point?
Yeah. I mean, we have a standard for the team that our average shot distance is 18 yards, less than 18 yards. So when Max is shooting from 35, 40 yards, that's never been anything I would coach any player ever have or ever will.
You mentioned pressure, the team, kind of struggling under pressure tonight, not being able to score a goal. Obviously now Tuesday you have a game to win the Sun Belt Conference. I mean, Marshall's already enough pressure alone, but now it's to win the conference. How do you see your team responding to that? What do you say to them going into that?
I shouldn't need to say anything, right? You just said it for me. They know what the stakes are. They know we've got to make up some ground now from an RPI perspective as well, following today's result. So, they have a really important 4 days ahead of them to make sure that they dust themselves off, get themselves recovered to the best of their ability, and show how much it means when they turn up in a very hostile environment on Tuesday.
What do you think that this team can do as you finish off the regular season against Marshall and you head into tournament play?
Well, I'm confident that Marshall won't set out the same tactically as what we've seen today. We probably prefer a little bit more of an open game with a little bit more transition and a bit more flow to it, quite honestly. I think most teams do. So it will be a very, very different challenge to the one we've seen today. And again, it's another top 10 matchup. It's always a very, very hostile environment to go. Thankfully, we've been there now 4 years in a row when we arrive on Tuesday. So we have a lot of players that have experience playing there. But the away team is yet to win. In the recent matchups in the last 5 years, the away team is yet to win between Marshall and West Virginia. So we got to recognise that some players need to add that feather to their cap. Thanks guys.